Check, test, 1, 2. Gray card, color, and action. JonnyPink, hey man, for years now, when I sit here and I do these little videos, I use my old Sony camera. It's got a screen off to the side so that I can see it. I can see what I'm doing. If I want something real, I use my Nikon D780 because the autofocus on that is simply amazing. And I set all my video parameters the way I want to. I use my gray card that I use for pretty much everything anyway. But I use an external monitor. It's big so that I can actually see what I'm doing, what I'm recording, make sure I'm in focus. And then I proceed that way. But for these quick little videos, I use my old Sony video camera. It's fantastic. But I've noticed that it's not as sharp even now as the current GoPros. I'm thinking, but it is older. So I was looking around and I have this. This is a Canon M50 for a couple of reasons. It has this wonderful flip out screen so that I can see what I'm doing, just like my Sony does, and it's a Canon, so I am going to get some rich, deep, vibrant colors. I have no idea what to expect with this. Really what I got it for was astrophotography because it's an ASP-C sensor, but it does go to bulb mode, but you have to stand there and hold the release, and it's only electronic, so at least as far as I found. So that kind of doesn't let me use it for that. But if it's got this wonderful flip-out screen, then hey, this might work for these quick videos. Find out right now. Let's switch over to that and take a look at what that looks like. You ready? Let's go now. All right. And now I'm switched over to the M50, Canon M50. It's got a wonderful little screen off to the side, which is what I like about my old Sony video camera. They're both this is shooting it at in 4K. But when I set it up just to make my colors as rich and vibrant as possible, I use my gray card. That way everything matches. So that's usually the way I start each of my scenes, and you don't see that. And then I color grade it in, or I color match, I guess it is, when I'm editing in Premiere. So this is the M50. As I was editing before, as I was saying, I noticed that the older Sony, even though it's shooting in 4K and it's a wonderful sensor, it's just not as crisp as what I see even in the GoPro now, with technology having moved on, because that thing is old. It was one of the first 4K cameras that came out in that format, and it was wonderful, but it's just not crisp and as sharp as I want to see. So, time to upgrade. This one was inexpensive. It has great reviews. This one's a couple of years older as well. So let me go. I'm going to go edit this up, and while I do, I shot a couple of photos, so I'm going to show you this. And of course, I had to get 1B in. The only downside to this little tiny camera is I'm using the kit lens that came with it, and that's fine by me. As long as I can adjust all my video settings manually, I'm happy. It only has a 15 to 45 millimeter lens range, so it's not that great. Shooting some of this stuff, you have to get kind of close, and then you're too close for the focal. Anyway, check these out, and I'll meet you on the other side after I put all this into Adobe Premiere, and I'll look at it there. All right, I'll see you guys in a little bit. Enjoy these photos. So this is, well, this is the Sepulveda Basin Wildlife Reserve. The river is down that way. Sorry, this lens is so close. It has one good advantage of the, well, when I'm going with the GoPro, it's so wide, I can point and you can see where I'm pointing, but it's going to be that way is the river. But everything here is so dry. Anybody who doesn't believe in climate change, well, I'm sorry, man, you're just an absolute moron. There is a reality behind science, and the stupidest thing I think I've ever heard anybody say was, well, science doesn't know. Well, no, you're the moron that doesn't know, but that's a whole story for another time. That's a rant and a rave for another time. So again, this is my Canon M50. Doesn't have the stabilization that the GoPro does. I might be able to pull a little bit out, but I wanted to play with it because it's a really cool camera. It's got the screen that's off to that side, and this is a wonderful place. And when I talk about the trash that I don't show you guys, well, look back here, we got a shopping cart. JonnyPink, man, if you made it all the way through on this, I want to say thank you. I do appreciate it. This morphed a little bit. I just wanted to play with this camera. I got this specifically for astrophotography. I like what mirrorless does for astrophotography. And if you've heard me, some of my other videos, I don't mean to bag on Sony, but I can't stand their color. To me, it's just flat and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. White balance doesn't change anything. The color is just flat. Canon has been known for their color science. And me, when I edit my photos, I love that deep, rich Nikon color. I love the deep blues. I love the yellow. And after being disappointed with the Sony and going out then and using my Nikon, it was like a real breath of fresh air. And so I was thinking, okay, I want an I want a crop sensor camera for astrophotography. I want a mirrorless. And this Canon came up, and that's the M50. It's been out for about 3 years. It's pretty inexpensive right now. And it comes with the kit lens. I thought, well, heck, this is great. One thing about entry-level cameras for real photography is they're so hard to use. I'm used to all the controls being right here at my fingertips and switching ISOs and different focus points, controlling my shutter to control your light, something you don't normally get into with beginner cameras. So it's really hard to get around on it, but I'm learning and I'm having fun. Each time I've gone out, this has been an absolute blast. And again, this was kind of, I thought, well, I'll use this to replace my regular video camera. And sometimes I can see a little bit of focus breathing in there, and it's quite okay. I'm okay with it. If you hear somebody say, I only shoot in 1080 because 4K is overrated or whatever, that's nonsense, man. 4K, you have to shoot in that. You have so much more option even with a crop sensor like this. Now, I could have waited for the Nikon D850, I think it is. It's the retro one that's coming out. And it would have done everything I wanted. But by the time I buy a lens adapter and everything else, it's going to be rather expensive. I don't want to do that. I am a DSLR guy. One thing about mirrorless cameras is that they go to sleep. And the more advanced, you can turn some of that off. You can change your settings, but I don't want to do that. I just want a camera that's ready to go when I am. I need this shot right now. I pick it up, put it up to my eye, and I'm shooting. mirrorless. You got to remember when you're picking it up to kind of push the button and get it ready to go. I don't like that. So I'm going to remain a DSLR guy. And the cool thing about that is these lenses are going to get, and the bodies are going to get less and less expensive as time goes on and people get sucked into this mirrorless craze. But going back to the color, Canon is known for their color. So I figured this is going to be great. I'll get to play with Canon color. I've been completely impressed by this camera. Even these really distant objects, the little birds that I'm shooting, man, is it usable huge? No, it's noisy, but it's fun. And I had forgotten how much fun it is. I love going out and capturing these treasures, but this has been, it's been a lot of fun. And the cool thing about this now is that, again, these wonderful Canon lenses that have been out for a long time, all I need is an inexpensive lens adapter. And I can probably find one refurbished on eBay. I can buy a cheap eBay lens. And so for, let's say, another $200, I've got a nice longer lens that I can put on this and it'll work just fine. Anyway, I'm blown away by this Canon M50. I'm enjoying it. I've debated, should I send it back? I got it from B&H. Should I keep it? I'm going to keep it. It's going to be fun. And I was disappointed it didn't have the intervalometer. However, I found an app that works perfectly for it. Not a true intervalometer, but because it doesn't allow you to program how much time you want between the shots. It's just one shot after another, but using my tracker, I can set it for 2 minutes, 4 minutes, however long I want that shutter to stay open, and it's awesome. So with all of that, man, I really want to say thank you. I'm sure there's other things I want to say, and I have forgotten. I didn't write it down. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. So you guys have a fantastic day out there, whatever it is you're going to be doing. And if not, then don't. It's up to you. I'm going to have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys out on the road. It's still kind of early in the day, but it's after 5 o'clock somewhere, so time to start drinking. I really don't drink that much. I have about that much alcohol. And anyway, we'll see you guys out on the road. JonnyPink. We'll see you. Thanks, man. They're not the greatest, but they're a tool. They are what they are, so there's really not much you can do about it. I know it's not stable, but I'm going to stabilize it when I drop it into the computer. Again, this is the little path I was just talking to over here, and now I'm walking